to another episode of The Audacity. Why did I do this to myself? Okay, hold on. Whoa. My gosh. Anyway, this is going to be the video about how I made my cosplay for my OC for Ren Fair. Nice little project, one would think, but it took so long, and I was finishing up to like the morning that we left. So let's get rocking and rolling. Alright, welcome back to my poor audio quality. We got the fabrics here. Got a nice printed cotton, some gauze because they didn't have any other white fabric because I got this edge of wands, and some black cotton. I mostly went for fabric content over look here because whatever. So I wanted all the fabric to be the same content because I wanted a really nice, breathable, natural fiber fabric because, I mean, I have a lot of heat regulation issues. If you've watched my other videos, you know it's because I swear I say it in every single one. But I would be taking this outside to a Renaissance fair, and I did not want to get overheated because I really wanted to wear this because my bestie and me were going as our D&D characters, just taking it in on the side there a little bit to make it a little bit better fitting, and then I turned over all the edges. Interrupting myself to explain. Anyway, we were both going as our D&D characters, and I mean, this guy's an NPC because I'm the DM, but whatever. He's my character. I can do what I want with him, but I really wanted to make that work for us because it would be so fun. It was our first campaign that we ever played it together, and it was so, like, it was such a good campaign, and we loved the characters that were in it. So I really wanted to make it work. So, I mean, now that I'm in the future saying this, I can tell you how it went, but I guess I'll do that later. This is me attaching the collar. Oh, and then I had this super great idea to decide how low I wanted the laces to go just by drawing out a plastic bag. It worked, though. I put some internal channels inside for the boning that goes in between the two sides because I wanted to bone this thing so that the laces wouldn't collapse. This is me going around the outside and kind of trimming it up to make it thinner, and when I say trimming it up a little bit, I mean trimming it up a lot. This is a long time lapse. Anyway, the purpose of the bones is to keep the laces from collapsing in on themselves. So, I put one in the middle of every panel and then one on each side of every panel, and it works pretty well. I mean, at the bottom it sometimes bunches up, but everywhere else completely fine, which I was surprised about, to be honest, but, you know, sometimes people's advice online is actually worth their salt. Here it is ironed, so much better. This is me putting the boning in. It's just zip ties, because who uses real boning anymore? I mean, I'm a cosplayer. That's just showing the boning channels what they look like from the back. From the front, you can't hardly see that middle bone at all, which is great. Oh, dropped my camera a little bit there. Sorry for the bumpy camera. Goes like up and over. And obviously I can cut these shorter and everything, but I don't know where to cut them. I don't know if I want these hanging out in the shoulder seams, if that will make like a weird pokey shoulder, or if I want to cut them more down here and have like a weird pokey here. I'm not sure. Like, the more, hold on, the more that I actually bend them towards each other in the back, they're touching right now, the better of a shape on the front I get. But then at the same time, like, how do you secure that? I don't really know what I'm doing for the up here portion, but the down here portion is looking great, basically. Thinking about here, so these will be in these straps like this. And it has to connect to this one, which is the back one. I don't know if I want to cut the boning and then have a little seam allowance where this will be the shoulder seam, or if I want to figure out how to make the boning sort of cross over each other around the shoulders and secure that way. Yeah, so these ones that go in here, I'm planning to just cut off here because like there's no weird like curve going on with the side ones. But for this one, I'm unsure. Okay, this is the point where I stopped the video and say that all of this, every problem that I'm having with the boning would have been solved if I would have just used like really crappy sewable boning that's like less strong that I could have just sewn through. So that's the thing. If you're trying to do something similar, I mean, don't do that. It's a bad idea, but like, my gosh. Anyway, second thing, in the course of this video, I caught a bird in our apartment. I didn't catch it in the apartment. I caught it outside the apartment because it had like hit a window. And so there's just a random clip in here of me holding a bird. Enjoy that, I guess. Reference, like, with birds, if you, because I knew it was her because it had hit a window and it was freezing outside, like, randomly one day. And so I, like, took it in and I had it in that little towel. And they say that if you just kind of, like, leave them in a box by themselves, no food, no water, because they can make them sick, just for, like, an hour. And then if they're, like, trying to escape after that, then they're probably good to go. Like, he just needed to warm up. I was doing everything safely. I, like, looked up how to do everything. And I contacted the animal shelter. Everything was fine. But, like, random clip. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, so I've got all of these boned in the sides now, as well as the fronts. And I've just got to jerry rig a, like, not a hem, like a collar slash arm facing to close up these edges here. And then I will attach these to themselves, and then I'll attach the front ones to the back ones. And then what I'll do is get like some embroidery thread, do like a decorative visible stitch between them. Maybe. I might also use some of that. We'll see. Also, I was going back and looking at some of my sketches. This is the back of the capelet. And I was thinking of having like a little loop here to hook this in so it doesn't like fall out because it needs to stay up. But then in my original sketches, it was just tucked like behind the back, going through the laces, and I think that's way cooler, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I solved the problem with the boning showing too much, but now I just have to somehow hem the inside, and I don't really know what to do about that. And we're back with no audio. That's me showing the embroidery thread-ish detail on the top of there, just to keep everything together and sturdy underneath. This is the rope thing that I was discussing that probably made no sense to you because you haven't really seen it. Like, you don't have the design memorized. I don't know. So what I ended up doing with the boning was actually just tucking them on top of each other, if that makes sense. So they're overlapping in the shoulder, like I kind of discussed earlier, which makes it really thick at the shoulder, but it's fine. It worked out. What's up? Location change. I'm at my parents' house. It's out of my college dorm, and now I have to organize all of my cosplay stuff. Sorry the angle's so low. I do not have a good place to put my phone in this room. But here's Vash's pants. It's so hard to like smash everything in there because my closet is so small. But on this, I got Izuku's mask almost fell on me. On this, I got all these lines. I don't know if you can even see that. It's kind of small. But I've got the lines for where I want the eyelets to go almost all marked out because I had them all marked out on the dress form, and then I took it off the dress form and put it on me, and it was completely in the wrong place because this is Roxanne, the dress form. Her boobs are massive and rock solid, so kind of pushes this in the wrong direction, but got it remarked out most of the way. I still have to do like the symmetrical sides, but you get the idea. Hopefully I can actually fit all my cosplay stuff in this closet. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna go in the closet because I don't like the front of it to be squished because it's like, because this is sewn on. The rest of the bows are not, but this one unfortunately is. Anyway, I have to sew on like, what's 13 times 8? That many eyelets by hand before we go to Ren Fair, which is only in like a few weeks. So wish me luck. I'm going to be watching a lot of TV. I just started a ton of new shows though, so probably not going to be a problem to find anything. I always have this problem where I start new shows and I don't finish the old ones. Like, I think I'm still in like the season with Kakyoin and JoJo's, but like I started watching To Be Hero X and it's so good. Oh, closet, but here to there is all my cosplay stuff, and those are my clothes. It's like a solid third of the closet. I'm just gonna yap because I'm on the clean half of my room, so you can't see the dirty half. I'm just transferring all of the markings that I did on one half to the other half, and I gotta do that a few times because there's a lot of halves here. Because it's got 4 lacing sections, I don't know if like editing me already explained this or anything, but it's got 4 lacing sections. Here, here, and then same place on the back. So, and they're like decently long too, so I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to get all of that eyelet sewing done in time. This character, his name is Jevin, and he, in like the first campaign that I ever ran, the characters like replaced God with an NPC, and so that's who he is. He's an NPC that accidentally, you know, wrong place, wrong time sort of thing. From his point of view, the players love him, but you know. But yeah, that's his deal. I've had like a player that had him as like a warlock patron, and that was pretty funny because he's like new. He has like so much backstory because like, I don't know, he was like an NPC of interest in that first campaign, and it wasn't really a story based or story heavy campaign. It was just kind of like sandbox, do whatever. But basically, he is kind of a vampire, kind of an angel, kind of I mean, he's a god now, he wasn't before. Kind of a demon, he's a lot of things because he's had a lot of crap happen to him. My players like to mess with him a lot. He's got like a brother who is an angel for him now. Used to be an angel for the old god, but you know. And that's about all there is to know about him without getting into the super specific details that would bore everyone. But yeah, I am going to be this guy for Ren Fair, and then my lovely best friend, also said player who had him as a warlock patron, and also one of the ones that is responsible for his current station as a god, is going as the character who made him a god on accident. So that would be fun, hopefully, if I get this done in time, and if she gets hers done on time. We thrifted most of hers, but like we'll see what she actually gets done. I don't actually know how much time we have because we don't know what weekend we're going yet. Okay, I think I've got everything, and now I am going to hand sew like 8 times 13 eyelet holes on this entire thing, which is going to be the death of me, I'm gonna be real. So I'm not gonna film it because I hate filming myself actually doing stuff unless it's easy, like marking. But I'm so not excited for this. I wish I had an eyelet stitch on my machine. But can you tell that I'm procrastinating this by talking to my phone alone in my room? Because I am. Yep, okay, let's go. I just realized I'm missing a nail. This is the wrong hand, I'm stupid. I'm missing a nail. I gotta go look for it now and further procrastinate working on this. I don't know how you can tell that I'm at my house and not at my dorm. Do you want to know how I can tell? Do you want to? Why? Obviously, though, the dog is not even allowed in this room or downstairs. Neither of the dogs are. Also, say hi to my garbage pile of plushies that I have nowhere to put because I had to put all my college stuff in the corner. I don't want to sew these. Alright, day 1 of violets. I have done 1 out of 8 sides. And I'm calling it quits because I didn't want to do this no more. Freaking. So much dog hair. I'm gonna need a lint roller real soon. I gotta vacuum before I do that though because the floor is just as bad. Anyway, catch up tomorrow. Still check in with this. I've done half of the eyelets, and I already want to die. I've just been doing like 13 every day because I'm like, no. It's been bad. Guys, I'm watching this girl embroider something on YouTube right now, and she's like, man, I just love the process, like the actual putting the needle through the fabric. Ignore my hair. And like the actual like process of like hand work, it's just so satisfying. That is not who I am, guys. I hate hand sewing so much. I don't know if you can see it. My machine is over there in the corner. I can't. Over there. I miss her. I have finished the eyelets. I'm gonna put it up on there, see what we're looking like, try and kind of lace it up, but I also don't really know how I'm gonna do the lacing, so I gotta figure that out too. I was like low-key planning on filming stuff for Instagram today because the Genshin update dropped yesterday and I stayed up until 1 in the morning to play it. So I was gonna film some stuff about that because I have like 3 Genshin cosplays that I could film content for, but I kind of just want to work on this now. Oh well. For the lacings, I'm using Wooble's yarn. It's woven, not like twisted. I think what I meant to say at the end of that video, it got cut off for some reason. I needed so much cording that I figured that just getting that would be worth it at some point. And you know what? It worked pretty well, because I did need a ton of cording. I'm stuck. So when I tell you, this is the most horrible thing in the history of the universe to try and put on my body. Oh, where's the cape? Anyway, I want to try this on with 2 dresses, because I'll tell you in a minute. Once I put on the second dress, I will tell you why. But this is the first one that I wanted to try on with this. And man, is this thing hard to get on and off. Because, I mean, the laces, you can see I haven't laced this yet because I have another dress to put on and I'm lazy. But you get the vision. If this is buttoned up. You can't see the bottom, but that doesn't matter because I'm not doing the same pattern on the bottom. This dress, the one with the green leaves, that is not accurate, because this one is the one that I'm making the pattern out of for the dress that's actually going to go under it. This is dress number 2. This dress is polyester, which not very breathable. It's starting to get warmer outside, and I am a little bit worried that it might be a little bit warm to be wearing all of this. I will try and get the sleeves done because this character has black sleeves and not beautiful princess flowy sleeves. They're more like suit sleeves. I shouldn't be walking around in socks. There's like a million pins on the floor. But that is the plan. So that I have this to fall back on if I don't get anything done in time. Also, I did lace it up all the way now, if you can see that. Lovely lacing back there. So this is how it would look over the white dress that I simply don't have. The other funky thing that I have noticed though about this, so because it has so much room right here, it kind of acts like my bust starts way up there. And so it looks a lot flatter when you smooth this out with the cape, other than like the normal curve. So it actually has like a tiny bit of a binding effect, which is kind of funny. Because it's like a laced bodice, basically. Oh, sorry, I was looking in the mirror, not at the phone. I'm really paying attention a lot today, as you can see by like the fact that I've completely done my hair and like haven't been sewing the only thing that I've done on today. Sewing and thinking about Genshin. Anyway, I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's like a tight-laced bodice, but it very flat-chested, kind of funnily enough. Kind of like a happy little accident there. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try and get out of this. Maybe I'll film it this time because it's actually really freaking funny to watch me try and struggle out of this, let me just say. I'm assuming because I can't see a freaking thing when I do that. Because I forgot that these sleeves are supposed to be down instead of up. They were just stuck in the top of my dress. Look how much pretty this is. It's so pretty. Maybe I should do like a feminine version of this guy one day. Like right now, this is what it would look like. Because I'm not wearing a wig for this. Because 1, no one knows who this character is. And 2, it's going to be hot. So I would just rather use my natural hair. I mean, not like this natural, but I will do my hair and then I will use it. Guys, this was so much worse in real life, trust me. This is a time lapse. It's not sped up. I was just actually dying. Watch that. Alright, sleeve time. Those are the horns. I made those already. Bing. Gotta say, after sewing like pleather and like fabrics of unknown origin, this stuff, which is 100% cotton, handles like a dream. So I forgot that I needed to like cover the interior seams of the sleeves. So what I'm going to do is unpick this one, the curved seam along the outside, because I have this weird sleeve pattern that has 2 parts to it to make it a little bit more fancy. So I'm going to unpick the curved one, I think, yes. And then I'm going to fell down the not curved one, and then we're gonna do a French seam on the curved one because I need to take it in a little bit anyway, and that'll be easier. Okay, so don't judge me. These are interfacing pieces, and I'm gonna cut this out, put them on there. Because I'm gonna just put a fake white cuff on the bottom of these sleeves because I don't want to have full sleeves because heat regulation issues. Number 2 thing for heat regulation issues, this is the bottom of the sleeve. It only goes up to, let me put it on for you. Doot. It only goes up to about there because you won't see the top underneath the cape lid. This is my iron. It doesn't really look like an iron because it's part steamer, so it can like do that. There's some good and bad things about this iron. Number 1, you can't just set it down, you have to hold it up a little bit, which I think they really could have fixed by just lengthening this foot right here. Second problem, if I'm ironing something and I've got the steam on, sometimes it likes to do this directly at people's knees after I lift it up. That's why the door is open into the messy downstairs that we're currently cleaning. And that's why I have to warn people when I'm using the iron. Anyway, I've got the collar, cuffs, not collar. I'd have to probably do a collar in a minute, but I got the cuffs all ready to go. And I've just gotta figure out how I'm going to attach them to the black bit now. Decided this was a good idea. Okay, now is this the prettiest finish ever? No, not really, but is it gonna keep the end in a lot better? Yes. So on the cuffs, I'm just kind of folding them over like this a little bit to give the appearance that there's like an actual like button-up shirt cuff type thing on the bottom there. Of course, that's not what's actually happening, and in fact, it's a full dress instead of a button-up shirt, but that's the look that I'm going for, and I can because there's not going to be anything attached to this, so I just kind of have to hand sew these because it's going to be a little bit smaller than the edge of this as well to complete that illusion. So more hand sewing for me, yay. Can't hear it because it was playing on my phone and I had to pause it so you could hear me talk, but does anyone else just have like a visceral, deep-seated fear response whenever they hear the song Carry On Wayward Son nowadays, or is that just me? I'm not quite sure if what I've achieved here is a success or a total failure, but I mean, it does look alright. You can, however, like pull it, I can't do it with one hand, but you can like pull it up so you can still see. Let me get you out of the light there. That bit. But I mean, it only does that if you pull on it, so I mean, it works? Question mark? I'm gonna do it to the other one. I don't really care. It's enough for me. I did this off screen because you do not know how much of a struggle it was to get this buttonhole on there correctly. I haven't sewed the button on yet. I just pinned it in place to see if it fit through the hole, but that's a thing. I'll sew this on too later. What I think I'm gonna do is for the sleeves, I'm actually just going to attach them directly to the sides of the cape like this, because that's just, I mean, that sounds stupid, but it's gonna be easier than anything else that I have in mind at the moment. Maybe I'll come up with something, but honestly, I think this is what I'm thinking. I got this pattern from the dress that I was talking about earlier, but I don't know how these pieces go together, especially like this one. Like, I just made this and I still got confused, so like we'll figure it out. We're doing a mock. I think I have a better idea on what's going on here. This is gonna be filled in, but I got a front and a back, and we're just gonna test it out. Okay, so I did the mock-up. It fits to a questionable degree, but that'll be enough for, say hi to my sister. Hi. That'll be enough for the next version. I had really annoying music over the next few clips, so I'm just gonna voice over this too. That's all the fabric after cutting that out. Here's me stitching on the collar in the same way I did the cuffs. Same charade, la la la. That's what it looks like from the front. Super cool. I thought it was really cute, actually. There it is, all pinned together, nice and neat. I did finally get the button sewed on, and that's what it looks like on. So you can barely tell that it's just fake underneath there, which is good. Ooh, nighttime lighting. It feels like I'm wearing mock-up right now because this fabric is so thin, but that's the whole point. So you can't see this, but I've got all these flappy bits. I'm going to insert triangles into the flappy bits to make them poofier, probably, hopefully. That is the goal. In the front here, I'm gonna sew it up a little ways. I have another triangle flappy thing in the front. And then I'm going to add something laces, hook and eyes, something on this bit. I'm probably gonna end up trimming away a lot of this excess. Okay, so I've laid out this gauze fabric that I'm going to insert into the dress flappies, and I know what you're thinking. That fabric and this fabric are so different. Why would you do that? And there's two reasons for this. Reason number one, I think the texture difference will be cool. Reason number two, these fabrics are both 100% cotton, and they were like the only bits left at my local Joann's, and this was indeed a panic Joann's closing purchase. So we're gonna do it. I think it'll be cool. It'll be fun. It'll be funky. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so it looks pretty well put together. I put the gauze, like, what would you call that? Like a gusset? Yeah. Into the dress. I put it on here. The top of it, I just kind of like did a little half bias with the extra gauze and around the armholes. It looks pretty well put together at this point. I mean, the sleeves are not attached, they're just pinned on, but I will attach them later. I'm not going to now because, like, in every one of my projects, I get to this point where it looks, besides the hem, looks almost done. It looks like almost perfect. Everything is looking great. But there are so many things wrong with it that it frustrates me to the point that I'm just like, I am so done. Like, this lace right here broke. And then on the front, there's like extra grommets only on the front panel, not on the side panel. I don't know how that happened because I was marking them out like at the same time. Don't know what that's about. On the back, this just looks funny because my mannequin, you can see how much bigger it is than me. This panel and that panel lace to the same width when it's on me, but obviously not on the mannequin. This side now has one extra grommet down here, or not grommet, eyelet down here. And you can see on this side, it laces all the way down. But on this side, it doesn't for some reason. Like, there should be an extra one here. But I relace this with longer lacing so I could even get it on the mannequin. And before that, it wasn't like that. So I have no idea what's going on there. Would love to know. And then on all the lacings, I just tied it right here because I don't know. I was like, these are going to be temporary, but then I ended up liking them. But then I have to fix this because this is ugly and annoying. And my teeny tiny awl was not big enough to make eyelets that were big enough to put a knot through. So now I got to unlace all of these, relace them with the knot somewhere else. And I just do not want to do that because I already laced this panel like 8 times today. We taking a break today, but the underdress is looking just fine. And it's got a pocket somewhere. Underneath here, I think. It might be on the other side, but there is a pocket somewhere that I can kind of get to when it's on me. Again, this is rock hard, but when it's on me, not so much. I can get to stuff a lot easier, put it on easier, etc. So, it looks a lot better when it's off the mannequin. I don't know. We're taking a break for today, though. Oh, and I don't know if I showed these before, but these are the horns that I made for him. Ignore the ugly hot glue. These were minimal effort. Hold on, I'll show them on. The reason that I put the hot glue underneath is because it kind of like wraps around and sticks to itself, because it doesn't like to stick to the metal headbands, but it will stick to itself. So these are the horns that I have for him. They're so cute. They look a lot better on my own hair than they do on a wig, so that's another bonus of not wearing a wig. Although I do think that that is just the wig specifically's problem, because I haven't really styled it much, but I'm not going to. Woo, time-lapse time again. This is just me sewing the hem on the bottom of the underdress. It took so long. Don't let the time-lapse fool you. Alright, so it's a little bit of a wobbly hem, but I don't really care. I can iron it, that'll be good. You know, I don't know why, but this dress has just not been the it of this project for me. I'm like ignoring all of the, like, I didn't even cover the inside seams. They're just raw in here. And I don't care. Honestly, I could care less. Also, a little check-in because today is Friday. Tomorrow is Ren Fair. So, as you can tell, I was a little bit stressed in that clip, and I needed to finish a lot of things. So, I did, off camera. I relaced everything, and, I mean, that's all that I had to do, but it was just really frustrating. I took out those extra grommets on the front, just kind of, eyelets, geez, why do I keep saying that? And I kind of just smoothed them out, and you can hardly tell, so that's what I ended up doing. Anyway, back to the video. Okay. I had this laced up, but the person who helped me get laced in needed to leave, so I had her unlace me. Jump CNC. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. So I didn't film anything else because I was hurrying, obviously, but I got some little pictures in my room without the red cord, and then I remembered the red cord and slipped it in like that. I feel like it looks so good. I was so happy with how it, like, finally came together and everything, like, looked normal. Here's us at the Ren Fair. I had to hike up my skirt because it was still freaking hot, but I do feel like the fabric toys helped. Here's me in a fake church set that we found. This character is or was a priest before he got, fired for killing the deity, but it was so fun, and we got to all wear, that's us together, we got to all wear our stuff all together, and it was super fun. I'm glad that I got to finish it on time.